Hello and welcome to another edition of For the Record. I'm Sean Murphy. My guest today is Corey Butler. She is the facility manager for Lazicki's Bird House and Rescue. They're in Rhode Island and Warwick, to be exact, but they serve the entire state. It is Corey's first time on the show, so welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, Lazicki's Bird House and Rescue. Tell us all about it. What is it?
We are a rescue for exotic birds, birds that have been abandoned, birds that can no longer be taken care of, abused. What we do is we bring them into our rescue, we rehabilitate them, we socialize them, and try to find them their forever homes.
Now, can they sometimes be released back into the wild, or for the most part, do you just have to find a new suitable home for them in captivity?
They cannot normally be released back into the wild.
Well, that's a good point. If they're exotic, they're probably not, native to this area anyway, right? That makes sense.
Correct. A lot of them would never survive out in the wild.
Does it? Why? What are some reasons why they get turned into you in the first place? You mentioned abuse, but some people, why? Sometimes I have to ask why they even got them in the first place. Why did they want them in the first place?
A lot of people purchase birds from either a pet store or a breeder. Sometimes they get them from maybe a friend or a neighbor as a novelty.
Conversation started.
Right, everybody wants a bird that talks. Everyone wants something pretty to look at, something their friends can come see, and wow, that's really neat. The reasons for relinquishments there are very, very many reasons.
I think they don't know what they're getting into.
They don't. When someone brings a bird into their home, they're basically bringing in a 3-year-old child for the next 50 to 80 years.
Right. That's how long they live. And a messy 3-year-old child.
Very loud, messy, noisy, and they're highly intelligent, so they do require a lot of attention and care and the proper diet. It's a lot goes into it.
Not only highly intelligent, but also highly loving. I saw a YouTube video of a guy who, you know how you see all these videos of military guys coming home and their dog greets them? Well, this bird greeted the guy who hadn't been home for a while the same way. He was so excited to see his dad, his master, the owner. So they have the ability to show love and affection too, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And they get, in the wild, birds mate for life. So a human almost becomes sort of like a mate to the bird.
Or their family at the very least, right?
Right, exactly. And that's a lot of reasons why some people have to or have issues with birds. You may have had a bird living with the same person for 25 years and suddenly he or she may come down with a sickness and, may have to be put into assisted living facility, and you have an animal who has been with this person for 25 years and they don't know anything else. And so you can only imagine the emotional and the turmoil that the bird actually goes through.
They get depressed.
They really, really do. They pluck, they start screaming, they may sit in their cage and start doing neurotic things, movements back and forth. It affects them. Definitely.
And you see that firsthand, don't you?
Oh, definitely, definitely.
So what can you do? You're there to rescue and rehabilitate. Is it just a matter of giving them, tender love and care and attention and just kind of, human interaction?
That's part of it. We practice and do our socialization through what we call ABA, ABA training. It's basically baby steps, same things you would do for like an autistic child. You could even train a dog that way. So what we do is we kind of let them settle in, and let them get used to being there, and give them the proper diet, which a lot of people are unaware of what a proper diet is for birds.
Especially the pet owners who decided to get them in the first place, right?
Absolutely. A lot of these birds that are living in homes are on an all-seed diet, which is horrible for them. They really need pellets and fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. Nuts should only be used as treats or for training time.
You wouldn't want, as a person, you wouldn't want to just eat the same thing all the time, right?
Right, exactly. They need a lot of variety, and when they're in the wild, they get that variety. They get, they eat off the nuts from the trees and the plants and, berries and different fruits and things like that. So it's very important that they have the proper diet.
Do they, can they, when they come to you, obviously they're probably very standoffish initially. Do they eventually develop like friendships with maybe other birds at the facility?
Absolutely. We have had that happen. We just had a case with 2 blue crown conures. One of the blue crown conures was with us for about 6 years. The other one, not as long. When we moved to the new facility on West Shore Road in January, they actually were placed side by side. They developed a bond. They would go to the sides of the cages and talk with each other and
Yeah.
dance. And so we were very fortunate. We
So now you
found
got to keep them
loving-
together.
Well, we found loving homes for them. They were adopted out by the same lady, and they're now living together.
Oh, good.
They preen each other. They're best friends. It's absolutely amazing.
Do you follow up sometimes when they go to their new home just to see how things are going?
We definitely do. That's one thing that we're very good about. We also have a group online through Facebook called the Lazy Bird Parents Chat. And that is a group where people who have come to our rescue and have been able to be approved for adoption, they post pictures and just do recaps and things so we can all kind of see how the bird's getting along and what they do on a day-to-day basis and things like that. So it's pretty nice.
Are there some birds that come to your facility that are unadoptable and they need to go to a specialized location or maybe stay with you as opposed to go into a new forever home? How does that work?
There are instances that that does happen. We have a self-mutilating bird at our rescue now. Sad story, he's one of my faves. His name's Maxie. He's a Malaccan cockatoo. He was in the same home with a lady for over 20 years. She basically took the bird everywhere with her. He slept with her, he ate with her, he would go for car rides, grocery store, anything that you can imagine. So they were together for a long time.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I mean, can you treat a bird the way you would a dog or a cat, the way they can sleep in bed with you and go places?
It really depends on what you are going to be able to provide for that bird for the rest of the time that that bird's with you. When you start something with a bird, you can't stop.
Right.
They're very, they like to be on a schedule. They like consistency. That's how they do best. So this Malaccan cockatoo, Maxie, had to be relinquished because the lady fell ill and I believe went into hospice, could no longer care for the bird.
She must have been just as brokenhearted as the bird.
Oh, definitely, absolutely. It's really sad when you see some of the stories and how people's hearts break. But Maxie didn't do well. He started plucking, putting holes in himself. He's had to have surgeries to close him back up, and he now has to wear a collar forever, so it prevents him from being able to tear and pick at himself. Biggest love in the world, very loud, but he was used to being with his owner, his mate, the entire first 20 years of his life. So when he came to us, he just didn't take too well, and so now he's getting better and better, but he is
It's
one
a slow
of the
process, though, right?
very slow process, and he's the sweetest bird you could ever.
Are you able to approach him?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
We do. We spend time every day with Maxie. He gets a lot of out of the cage time. He needs it. All of them need it. So we do our best to, give them out of cage time and socialize with them. We train them. One of our major, kind of where we stop with our training is just to get them to not only be friendly with 1 or 2 people, but several volunteers, so they're well socialized, and then stepping up.
That's a good point. So you sort of have to step back after a while so they're not attached to you and will, take, the attention of somebody else,
Absolutely.
and not be a one-woman bird, so to speak.
It's a
right?
fine line.
Yeah.
It is, but
Do you think that exotic birds as pets should be illegal, or should they not be allowed to be sold by pet stores? I mean, for them, it's just like a profit thing anyway, right?
that's a very controversial subject.
I'll be on record as saying it should be illegal. Pet shop, not a big fan of pet shops anyway, because, just like your dog or cat, you should be adopting from a shelter or
Exactly.
a rescue location. Same thing with birds, right?
Exactly. There are laws being passed. There are petitions that are out there. We really are pushing for the breeding to stop.
Anything you're uncomfortable to say, I'll say it for you. All right? So don't worry about it.
Thank you. Definitely, I don't agree with the breeding, and I don't agree with the way a lot of animals in general get treated in pet stores,
Right.
behind glass and in cages.
I
And
like the pet stores that only sell the products, the food and the toys and all that, and the bedding. But they do have kennels there for shelters and the Humane Society or whoever to come so that they can be displayed for potential adoption.
Right.
The pet store doesn't sell the pets; they provide the facilities so that a place can set up a weekend so that you can come down and potentially adopt a pet. I like that idea.
Oh, I do too, and I think that's great.
The adoption process for Lazicki's Bird House and Rescue, is it similar to what you would do if you were gonna the process similar to if you were gonna adopt a dog or a cat, say?
I honestly don't know. I can tell you about the adoption process. I don't know how similar it is.
Well, tell me, yeah, because I think people, are learning and want to understand and what they would need to do and be able to understand how it's necessary for them to be able to accommodate the bird because it could be very different from another type of pet, obviously.
Oh, definitely, definitely. The first thing we do, we basically, on our website, lazybirds.org, you would go to the Adopt tab and fill out an adoption form. It's just general information, address, phone number, and we ask a few general questions to see kind of where you are as far as how much you know, how educated you are about owning a bird. We follow up with an email and a phone call. After we speak, and if everything goes well with the phone call, we do ask for an appointment. We make an appointment for them to come visit our rescue. The thing that's different with cats and dogs versus birds, it's kind of more like the bird kind of chooses you.
Good point, yeah.
So we require several visitation and bonding sessions.
You have to see how they react, right?
Right, exactly. We also do a thorough home visit. During the home visit, we check to make sure that the housing or the cage is the proper size, where it's going to be located as far as, is it going to be in a bedroom? Is it going to be in the living room? Any kind of hazards, cords, toxic plants, Teflon pans, a lot of things that people probably wouldn't think of unless we bring it to their attention that could potentially be harmful or dangerous to the bird.
And the pet shop probably isn't going to tell you that. They
Absolutely
don't really
not.
care.
Absolutely not.
Right. So, yeah, a few of the steps as far as the adoption process is concerned. We'll take a break and come back one more time on that website. It's an easy one to remember, right?
Yes. Lazybirds.org. LAZIBIRDS.org.
All right, we'll put a graphic up on the screen, and we'll take a break and come back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Stay with us. Welcome back to For the Record. I am Sean Murphy. We are chatting with Corey Butler, the facility manager of Lazicki's Bird House and Rescue. We mentioned the website before we went into the break, and obviously there's a tab on the website that you had just talked about adopting. What else is on the website? Do you have links to social media, Facebook and all that stuff too?
We do. We also have, if you're in need of relinquishing a bird, we have a relinquish form that you can fill out online. If you'd like to come and volunteer your time, we also have a link for that. We have a bird store that we have discounted bird toys you can purchase off of our website. We also have, if you were to perhaps find a wild bird, we have information of who you would call and where you would actually take the bird.
And that's not necessarily to your place. It really kind of depends on the situation on the bird itself, right?
Correct. If it's a robin or a blue jay, something that lives outside, we refer anyone that comes across like a baby bird per se to the Rhode Island Wildlife Hotline, and they take care of the bird. They normally take the birds in, and then when they're well enough or old enough, they release them back in the wild.
You mentioned one of the things on the website is if you'd like to volunteer. Are you always looking for volunteers?
Absolutely.
And what kind of skills would they need to have if they wanted to volunteer?
A heart.
A heart. That's the most important thing, right?
Yep,
You need
heart.
to love animals, right? Love birds.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, even if you were thinking of perhaps bringing a bird into your home, it would be great to come out and volunteer your time, even if it's for an hour a week. Every little bit helps, and you would be able to learn and get the education that you need to be able to provide a bird with a very good home.
Now, you guys, is it you just recently moved into a new facility, a larger facility?
Correct.
Talk about that a little bit. How much space did you gain by moving to this new place?
We gained probably about 200 or 300 so feet. It wasn't not much.
But there were some other benefits to moving too.
Absolutely. The rooms are broken up, so we have a education/bonding room. It's also a playroom for the birds where they can climb nets and play on play stands and get some out of the cage time. We have a quarantine room that's set up specifically for the new intakes. We also have a storage room. We have a full kitchen so we can prepare the chop every morning for the birds. And then we also have what I call the main room, I guess. That's where everyone's housed. So, and then an office. It's nice.
Can someone take a tour of the facility and
Sure.
they can kind of just come in and kind of look around and see what's going on?
We prefer to do appointments.
Okay.
Because we're volunteers and we're a whole complete volunteer organization, we like to have a core person there when new people come to visit or potential adopters come into the rescue. So we like to set up appointments so we can know what to expect and we can have someone there.
But you're always looking for volunteers, right? So go to the
Correct.
website and and volunteer and help out in any way you can. You mentioned that you're a nonprofit and you are actually looking for a CPA at this point because you're looking, is it to renew your 501c3 status? Is that what it is?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And specifically, is there anything about the CPA that obviously you would need them to or want them to kind of work on somewhat of a pro bono basis, I would imagine?
Absolutely. Either pro bono or a reduced fee if possible. We're actually in dire need of that right now. We have a few things that we need a CPA to look over to make sure that we have correct so we can get sent back into the government and reapply for our status.
What other ways are you funded? Is it for the most part, private donations from people, the local community get involved, any businesses get involved?
The local bird community, CBL, which is Crazy Bird Ladies. We have a lady named Bev Penny who has done a lot of help for us. If it weren't for her, I don't know if we would have made it through this past winter.
It was an extreme winter, wasn't it?
It was, and it takes a lot, to keep a constant temperature, the heat, the monthly rent. It takes a lot. So, and we run currently right now off all donations.
Right. And now, even though you just moved into a new place, and by the way, it's very convenient too. It's in a good location, not because of the facilities itself, but the location helps too, right off the main road.
Right.
It's pretty expansive, right?
That's correct. We even have a large backyard that we plan on putting up an outdoor aviary. So that's going to be really nice. Perfect. It's right on alongside of the road. I mean, you can't miss it.
And you're actually looking to see if you can extend your land even further, if possible, down the road a ways, right?
We were looking into possibly being able to purchase the location we are.
Oh, okay.
Where we are currently. Right now, we're in a lease. We'd like to eventually be able to maybe purchase that building.
Now, what are the day-to-day duties of the facility manager? What does that mean exactly?
I get my hands dirty just like everyone else.
You're probably doing a lot of everything, right?
A lot of everything. I mean, from the watering, making chops, so cutting up vegetables, changing the papers, sweeping, mopping, doing some training,
Right.
taking pictures.
And giving love and affection, right?
Absolutely.
And receiving it back in some cases, right?
Acting a little crazy.
Here's a question for you. Do you get, I know you're a lover of all those that are with you now. So when a particular bird does get adopted, and that's a good thing because you eventually want them to all go to good homes, but it's got to be a little bit sad when you have to say goodbye sometimes if do you have to force yourself to not get attached?
Somewhat,
Yeah.
yes. I mean, it's bittersweet is what it is. I mean, I'm happy because obviously this bird's not going to be in a rescue anymore. It's going to have another chance to be loved and cared for the way it should be. And so it's bittersweet. There's tears, but they're tears of joy. And yes, you get that a lot. But at the same time, it's a happy time for the bird.
Is there anything different that goes on? You mentioned in the winter versus the summer. I mean, obviously, I don't know, can they experience maybe when that aviary gets built, the outdoors a little bit more? What happens in the winter versus the summer?
The birds would not be allowed or be able to go outside during the winter.
Right.
As far as different times of the year, birds do get hormonal at different times of the year. They tend to be a little louder at certain times. They
Calling a mate, right? Or
Exactly.
potential mate. Yeah.
Screaming. They just might be a little annoyed at some, points in time during the year because of the different changes in the seasons.
Can you tell when birds are screeching or screaming like that? Can you, and you're trained, so can you and your staff kind of know the difference between naturally what the birds would do anyway versus maybe some of those sounds are because of their conditions that they've come from or anything like that? As far as mental or psychological issues with the birds, maybe.
Yes. We do have birds that have screaming issues, and those can be worked with a lot of patience and a lot of ABA. They can be completely wiped away if you choose to be serious about it and work with the bird. A lot of people don't realize when you have a screaming bird, the bird is screaming either because it wants attention or it needs something or it wants you to come talk to him. If you do what the bird wants you to do by screaming and you immediately go towards him, he's going to keep doing it.
It's like
exactly.
the baby that cries because he knows you're going to pick him up.
Exactly.
Right?
So you kind of have to, you turn your back and you walk the other way.
Right.
It's hard.
I know it is, but you have to force yourself to do
right.
it, right?
Right.
What is the vet situation like? Do you have one that visits periodically?
We do. Ann Burke, she is our vet. We've used her now for quite some time. She comes to our rescue once, sometimes twice a month. She does all of our intakes, so the birds are tested, and while they're in quarantine, obviously, and then when they're cleared, they can go out with the rest of the birds. She also comes in and does our nail and beak trimmings, and in case of emergency, she's right there.
When a bird does get, an exotic bird does get eventually sent maybe to his forever home, is the new owner educated to the point where they know certain maintenance and maybe a vet that would cater to that type of animal, so they kind of have a head start to know what to do if an emergency occurs?
Absolutely.
Or just general visits to the vet?
Right, absolutely. A bird should be taken to the vet at least once a year. With birds, it's very hard to determine whether they're sick or not. It could just be one of those things that come on and you wouldn't even know it. So it's very hard to tell when a bird's sick. We do refer all of our adoptees to Ann Burke, our vet. She does travel and she will go to your home to see your bird, which is very nice. She does that in Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts, I believe.
Oh, good. She's got a good travel distance then.
Yes.
Oh, good.
So we do refer all of our adoptees to Ann Burke, unless they, of course, already have their own avian vet.
Right.
And we do check up on that before, allowing a bird to be adopted out.
Before we run out of time, I want you to talk about is it the Golf Scramble? Is that what's coming up? Because that's a big fundraiser for you. Talk about that a little bit.
It's a huge fundraiser. We really, really need a big turnout. That's going to be September 14th at the North Kingston Golf Course, 12:30 shotgun, and it's $125 per person. That includes your cart fee, your round of golf, and dinner on site at Fat Belly's afterwards.
Oh, you got a good package there, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
and we've got lots of wonderful raffles going on throughout the day, along with prizes, flat screen TVs, a set of golf clubs. So it's going to be fun.
You're going to be involved in it?
Absolutely.
What are you going to be doing that day? Organizing? Will you be playing around? What's the deal there?
I am hoping to be able to play golf, but at this point, if I'm needed elsewhere, I will.
And I would imagine that also, if someone is not able or doesn't like to play golf, they could still show up, show moral support, maybe make a financial donation and just be a part of it and support in any way they can. Right?
Absolutely. We do have an Amazon wish list. You can find that on our website, and then we also have a donate tab. Obviously, you can donate through PayPal.
What's the date of the Golf Scramble?
September 14th.
Okay.
12:30.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Bring
your umbrella.
Bring your umbrella and bring your golf clubs if you have them, right?
Right.
All right. And they can learn more about that on the website one more time, which is?
lazybirds.org.
All right. Let's take one more break and come right back. I'm Sean Murphy. This is For the Record. Keep it here. So that is our show for today. One more time, the date on the Golf Scramble, because that's a big fundraiser for you, so we cannot mention it enough times. What is it?
September 14th.
All right. Be there and go to the website to learn more about that. What do you want to say to people, if they're maybe thinking about a bird, an exotic bird, or maybe have one that they think they might not be able to handle anymore? What are their steps? What should they do?
You can contact either myself. My phone number is listed on our website. Educate yourself. first and foremost. I mean, any problem that you have with a bird, you can fix. It just takes time. It takes patience. You wouldn't give your child up.
Right.
And when you give a bird up and you're turning your back on it, it's basically
And
it's
they should
horrible.
be a member of the family, just like anybody else,
Exactly.
right? And you're looking for a CPA as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. If anyone out there has a family member or a friend, anyone who's listening or watching, we need a CPA.
All right. LazyBirds.org is the website. Her name is Corey Butler. She's the facility manager for Lazicki's Bird House and Rescue in Warwick. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us for another edition of For the Record. You can see this show and many others on our YouTube sites. We will see you next time. Take care.